I'm not a political conman. I'm in Azimio and I'm not afraid to state it, because that is what our forefathers taught us, to be very honest with our subjects. That was the message from Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president of Kenya, as he resurfaced after he was really intimidated and he decided to take a sabbatical break to the UK. So today he came back, and straight with Kalonzo Musyoka, they headed to Mwingi in a church affair. They were actually conducting an harambe to help with some church in Mwingi, and Uhuru made a speech that was targeting the failed state or the failed policies of William Samoei Ruto.
Kwa hiyo ni sababu mbili yangu kuwa pamoja nanyi siku ya leo. Mengi yamesema, mimi sitaki niongee mengi ya maneno. Nimesikiza, lakini nimeshukuru kuona vile viongozi wamekaa pamoja, kwa sababu mimi sifichi kusema ya kwamba pale ambapo mimi nasimamia, mimi naambianga watu mimi ni mwana Azimio. Na hapo nilipo, mimi sio mtapeli wa kuruka huku na kuruka huku, sijui ati leo iko hivi, leo iko hivi. Mimi nikitoa msimamo wangu, nitakaa na msimamo wangu, kwa sababu hivyo ndivyo tulifundishwa na wale wazee ambao walitufundisha siasa. Kuwa mtu ambaye anaweza kuaminika leo na kesho, sio mtu wa kuyumbayumba namna hii. Hiyo sisi hatuko hapo. We are where we are to stay, and we are proud of it, and we are hopeful of a bright future for bahali tu. Bishop tumeomba hapa sasa, mimi nataka kuhakikisha kwamba yale ambayo niliombea yangu imefika. Sasa hiyo nyingine sijui. I can vouch for the credibility of nafikiria kuna line inaenda. So muendelee who knows? Only God knows. And it is God, and that is why we are here to give Him thanks and to join together with you to do His good work, to do His great work. Tangu nikukauliza kama Wakenya, kwa sababu huo msimamo wangu haujabadilika. Tuendelee kuwa pamoja. Tusikubali siasa ya kutugawanya kwa misingi ya kikabila, kwa misingi ya kidini, kwa misingi ya tajiri sijui na maskini. Kila mmoja wetu ako na jukumu ya kujenga taifa la Kenya. Kila mmoja wetu ako na mahali ambapo anaweza kucontribute kuhakikisha ya kwamba nchi yetu imekuwa, tumepambana na umaskini, watoto wetu wamesoma, na nchi yetu iko na amani. Na umoja wa nchi unatokana na umoja wa viongozi. Tusiwe watu ambao tamaa yetu ya uongozi itazidi shida ya mwananchi ambaye anaongoza. We should truly become, and if we are, we should be united. There is no reason for us to be united. If we are being led by the spirit of servant leadership, that we are in the positions that we are in, and God has given us those positions, not for ourselves, but for what we can do for the people that we lead. That we will not engage ourselves in negative politics, but rather politics that will uplift the children of God. And that is why God has given you that opportunity to lead, to be of use to your fellow citizen, to your fellow human being. And you cannot do that if you are not united. Kwa hivyo, mimi sitaki ninene mengi. Na sio kwa sababu naogopa, don't think mimi hiyo mambo ya kuogopa iliisha. Tumetishwa, tumeambiwa sijui nini, kila saa mtu akishindwa njia ya kufanya kitu yake, sijui serikali iliyopita. Sasa kesho yake tutasema hata watoto wakikataa, kama mama akikataa kuzaa, tumezoea tu, tunayasikia inaingia na inapita na tunaendelea. Kama ni namna gani? Tangu ni kuwaombea amani, umoja, na tuje sasa tufanye kazi ile ambayo inaleta. Hiyo ndio hamu yangu kubwa sana.
I want us to look at just 4 aspects of that speech that I captured. Because this was happening, ladies and gentlemen, at a time when the country is at crossroads, the government is in turmoil, they are trying every propaganda, it cannot work, they are trying every blame game, it cannot work, things are just hanging. William Ruto does not understand. Now, the fact that Uhuru Kenyatta stated very categorically that he is in Azimio is a big blow to the government. Remember that the main reason why Uhuru Kenyatta decided to give William Ruto space was because the government kept on intimidating him, intimidating his mother, intimidating his family, including his son, because they were accusing him of funding Azimio rallies. And they really wanted him to detach from Azimio because they wanted Raila to remain solo. That is why they were also trying as hard as they could to take Jubilee, the Jubilee party, from Azimio. There were also, talks that if Uhuru Kenyatta was not going to distance himself from Azimio, then some of his presidential benefits, retirement benefit packages, would be interfered with. Now, for him to come back, then he states categorically that he's in Azimio. I mean, it's really going to dent the expectations of William Ruto, because William Ruto is looking for Uhuru Kenyatta. Rigathi Gachagua is also looking for him. And to Rigathi Gachagua, this is also going to be a big blow. Recently, he said that he wanted to beat Uhuru Kenyatta so that they can unite Mount Kenya. And his unity, he said, was to unite around him and unite around William Samoei Ruto so that come 2027, they vote 100%. But now Uhuru Kenyatta is telling them that I'm not afraid. I am in Azimio to stay. I captured that aspect. Number 2, he is unleashing a political terror, because he's saying that he's not a political con man. He's not afraid of saying where he is. And when he talks of political conmanship, you know very well that in the country, people have always accused William Ruto of being very dishonest. Today he says this, tomorrow he changes tune. Today he will lie to you without blinking, tomorrow he changes. And so when he says that he's not a political con man, he's not dishonest, this was a spear targeted directly to William Samoei Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua and the entire Kenya Kwanza government. Because you all know that what is grappling, what is really bedelving this country is the dishonesty from William Ruto. In fact, today we are at the height of trying to unravel the mystery between the mystery about the Gulf oil deal, because Ruto says it was a government to government deal. Raila and Okiya Mutata are saying no. Some people are benefiting, unscrupulous businesses, and it's being mentioned that Chirchir, who was really heckled in Sotik, is one of the beneficiaries. And so dishonesty, the aspect of dishonesty came in handy. I also realized that Uhuru Kenyatta has jetted in at a time when the mountain is confused, the mountain is looking for guidance. Just the other day, he celebrated his birthday, and the mountain raptured with joy and jubilation. And so for him to come at a time when the mountain is looking for him, bei za bidhaa zimeenda juu. The mountain was cheated and hoodwinked that Uhuru Kenyatta was the author and the finisher of their predicaments and all the problems, social, economic, religious, everything. Now they're looking back in retrospect and they realize their problems never emanated from Uhuru Kenyatta, but from the lies of the government. And so when Uhuru Kenyatta goes there, I understand that they still don't have a kingpin. Uhuru might be a very integral part in pointing out where they should go. Uhuru warned them that if they make a mistake of electing the Kenya Kwanza government, it was going to be hell. And now hell has broken loose. Uhuru talked about people being divided along tribal lines, along political lines, and the major one along the social lines, the rich and the poor. He talked there about the dynasty. And you see, the reason why he revisited this is because it formed the main package of all the lies when the Kenya Kwanza team was campaigning. In fact, one of the reasons why the youth voted for William Samoei Ruto was because of this dynasty and the hustler narrative. And he promised them that when he forms a government, it will be a government of the hustler. And William Ruto accused Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga as a duo that were born and bred with the butter, that they grew up in opulence. And William Ruto told them that he rose up as someone who's just selling eggs to the stature of a deputy president, giving them hopes that they can be whatever they want. So Uhuru visited it because it has failed. The hustlers are suffering more than they were during Uhuru's regime. Subsidies that were placed to help the hustlers are gone. Kazi kwa vijana that was helping hustlers is gone. So Uhuru is telling them, be very careful. It was like a reminder. I also captured the moment when Uhuru is saying that he's not afraid. You see, after intimidating Uhuru, and Uhuru somehow fled, he took that sabbatical break. Then he comes back and says, I'm not afraid. They have accused me of many things. And he was comical about, telling them that where we are, even when a couple is unable to get a child from God, then it will be blamed on Uhuru, that Uhuru is the one who has hindered them from getting a child. So he also talked about this blame game, because instead of facing the reality about our economic situation, the government keeps on saying it was Uhuru Kenyatta. And you see, they keep on taking loans while they accused Uhuru Kenyatta of taking more loans that they say they are servicing now. And Uhuru is telling them, I'm not afraid. So it means if they were thinking that if Uhuru says something, they will start intimidating him, it seems Uhuru is saying, here I am. I'm back. And I'm not afraid of speaking my mind. I'm in Azimio. If you want to start it all over again, you can intimidate me, you can intimidate everyone. The good thing now is that when Uhuru took that break and Raila decided to take a low profile, it was to give Kenyans time. Because Ruto had said, give me time, I want to stabilize the economy. So Uhuru is back, Raila is back with another dossier, because they can now see, the mountain can see that their businesses were not being destroyed by demonstrations as had been alleged by the government, but the businesses are now being destroyed by very poor policies that are being supported by David Ndii, a man I respect, and I thought a man who has got some academic intellectuals, but things are failing. So Uhuru is back when Kenyans can now see, everyone can now see, no one has interfered with them. Raila left them to do whatever they wanted. Uhuru left them to do whatever they wanted. The Azimio team stopped the demonstrations. And so, ladies and gentlemen, That is how things are now. I don't know what you captured in that speech, but it was a speech that was unraveling the mysteries and just looking at ever since Ruto took power and where we are now, what he promised vis-a-vis what he has achieved. What do you see? And so maybe moving forward, we are going to see the trajectory that it takes, what Rigathi Gachagua is going to do, what William Ruto is going to do. But as it is, I was forgetting something. The fact that he went there with Kalonzo Musyoka, he resurfaced for the first time and is being seen with Kalonzo Musyoka, is another thorn in the flesh to William Ruto. Remember, Kanini Kega once said that the reason why the mountain woke up very early in the morning to vote was not to vote William Ruto, but to vote out Raila Amolo Odinga. And Kanini was saying that if Raila will not be in the ballot, then the mountain might just decide to sleep. And for Uhuru Kenyatta to come, it was like an endorsement sort of, because they are seen with Kalonzo, Eugene was there, Oparanya was there. It is like they want to present Kalonzo to the mountain, because I understand that the mountain is ready for Kalonzo. They are tired of the lies. They are tired of the fallacies of William Samoei Ruto. And so they might just be very ready to vote in Kalonzo Musyoka. So for Uhuru Kenyatta to come, it is like he's telling the mountain, here is the man. And William Ruto is afraid of that, because with Raila out of the ballot, they will lack what to say. No, with Raila they can always say anything, but without Raila in the ballot, they will lack what to say, and the mountain might just rise up to in what looks like a revolution to vote out William Samoei Ruto. And so, ladies and gentlemen, from the speech, Uhuru still wants the unity of the country. I don't know what you think, but I was able to capture that. What did you capture? Be kind enough to share with me.